Hi there and welcome to my live. My name is Paula Reid and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator going by the name of Yellow Bear Stamping. Tonight I've got a really fun little box, treat box. It is a self-closing one and it's one that I have done previously in a half sheet of A4 cardstock. And tonight I'm going to do it using a piece of 6x6 designer series paper. So hopefully you can all see that. Tonight I haven't done a front welcome bit to start with because on Tuesday last week I had cataract surgery. So I am still wearing sunglasses. My eyes are doing very well, but it's just just need to keep out of the bright light. So let's get started. And this, I'll share you, this is the little gift, I'm calling it a self-closing box, that it can hold a couple of chocolates, or for these ones I have actually put in a couple of different stationery bits and pieces, a mini pen, some flip back fold back clips, a thin post-it note, and some large paper clips. And I made these for my sister's Christmas staff dinner last night, and so we had these on the table instead of Christmas crackers, so I thought I would share them with you. So as I mentioned before, I have done these previously using a half sheet of A4 cardstock, and I saw a fellow demo, Jan, who's based down in the Hawke's Bay here in New Zealand, and she had made these using 6x6 designer series paper as table favours for her daughter's wedding, and I really loved them, so I thought, right, we're going to give that a try. So we're going to do some scoring first. Now I'm just going to move some bits on the desk so that I can hopefully, I might just move my, move my camera up a bit so that we can get this in. Right, so make sure your cutting blade is well out of the way, and you're just going to be wanting your scoring blade. If you have, like, this paper is non-directional, so it doesn't matter, but if you had a paper that was directional, make sure that you start your scoring with it, if it's an up and down, that you have your paper that way. So our first measurement is 2 3/4 inches, and I'm just going to give that a score, and then slide it along to 5.5 inches and do another score. Then I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees to the left, and we're going to score it at 1 inch, and then 4 5/8. So that's, you go to the 4.5 and then it's along one bit, and we're going to score that. Then we're going to turn it back to the original position and score from the bottom score line, which is hopefully you can sort of see, I've done it in this darker paper to hopefully show it a bit more. So it goes along here, and we're going to score from there down to the bottom of the paper. And so we have got it back into our original position. Then we're scoring it at 1 3/8. So that's your 1 1/4 and then 1 bit. Whoops, I'll bring that back in so it's in camera. Oh no, actually I am right. So we're going to start it from this line. Now with this, the trimmer, all the blades, you've got a groove on the side, so you can line that up with roughly as to where your horizontal line is, and then you're just going to do that a couple of times, score that. Then we're going to move it along, so that's 1 3/8, and then we're moving it along to 4 1/8, and do the same thing from this horizontal score line, which you can, because it's got the groove on either side, you can line it up with your score, and then we're just going to score that. And then that's it for the paper trimmer. So I'll just move that up the back. Right, so we then have got the first score line that we did, the second score line that we did, and this creates the little tab that you are going to join your box with. Our third one up here that does the top, the fourth one that helps to create the base, and then we're just going to, the 2 additional scores that we did, and you don't need to do it with a bone folder because it is the designer series paper, so it is it's a bit easier to fold. Paper snips, and then we're just going to, what you want to do is cut up these 4 lines here along the bottom, because they are going to create the base. And so you've cut from the bottom edge up to that first horizontal score line. So if I fold that panel back, I want to just angle this a little bit, because it just sort of makes the tabs just sort of fold a bit better. And then we're just going to come back here and cut that on an angle like that. Do the next one along, fold that, and then cut up to there. Just pull that out. And then we're going to do our third one. And then we're going to do our last one. Then I have found the the easiest thing is to then so there's your bottom tabs all done, and then with this top one I just cut it from there down, and I've worked out that then made it a lot easier for our next step. I fold this flap bit in, because what I now need to do is do a score line from this top corner up here down to this first where the first tab is, and then we're going to do it back here, so it's going to be like a triangle. So I have got my ruler, and I use a steel ruler, metal ruler, and then this is with I have my take my pick tool. Hi Deborah, yes, it is lovely, this paper. It's thank you, I should have mentioned that. So this is one of the current online exclusives, and it's called the Elegant Pine Snowflakes, and it's 12 by 12 designer series paper. Now here in New Zealand and in the southern hemisphere, we don't do snowflakes have snowflakes at Christmas, so I often find it's hard with the Christmas paper that is around, that a lot of it is the real snowflakes. But I liked this one in that it has so it's all the pines, and even though there are, I'll just get out, so here's another sheet. So even though you've got it in a snowflake design, it doesn't, well, to me, it's not really a snowflake. I'm just bringing out another piece. Sorry for the noise. So here's another of the 12 by 12. And yes, it does have, like this one here is more of a snowflake, and you've got these ones, but I'm okay because it's more of the pine, and so to me that is sort of like a southern hemisphere Christmas with the pine trees and stuff. So it's got some really lovely paper. So that is on the online exclusives. Again, it's called Elegant Pine Snowflakes 12 by 12 Designer Series paper, and the code is 166066. Right, I'll pop that away. So I am now going to do my V, and so I just put there's my score line up here, so I've put my ruler up there, and then I just bring the other end down to here, and I'm going to give that a score. And I found by cutting this bit here, folding the top of that panel flap in underneath, it made it a lot easier for me to find where my the point is that I need to be, and then you just bring it again back down to here. So I'm just doing that, and then fold that one under, open this side out, again up to this, from this corner down to here where you've done your little cut. And on this one, actually what I will do, I forgot to do that, so on this tab here I don't want this little section here, so I'm just going to cut that and then cut that, so then that makes it easier. So I want to go from this point up here down to here to make the other score line. So I'm going to go from there to there, and that is that done. So then I'm on this side flap here, this is where it's going to join. So I'm just going to cut that off on an angle, and then cut this off on an angle. Now the next important, probably the most important part of this box, is that you want to just pinch fold these diagonal lines that you scored. If you don't do that, your box won't sit right, and it's a lot harder to get it going when it's all assembled. So you want to make sure that you have folded those prior, and then once you do this bit, you can kind of see how the box comes together. And that goes on there. Okay, so you've kind of got these bits like that. Right, so then on my boxes previously I had used liquid glue because I was making a few of them and it was just a lot quicker. For tonight I'm going to use just the snail. You could use tear and tape, but I actually find with the liquid glue it gives you that little bit of wriggle room, so that if you don't get it quite right, there's a little bit of forgiveness in it. So fold that bit in, removing your finger so that you don't stay with the box, and then fold this over and there's your there you can sort of see how this bit here kind of forms. You can, because it's a self-closing, so it doesn't actually need anything, but I just wanted to make these look a little bit nicer, so I just did a hole punch and then threaded a bit of ribbon. It was about 30 centimeters of ribbon, and that allowed me to tie. I don't have any current red ribbon, so I just went through and I found this was actually Poppy Parade, but it was like, yep, that's matches sort of in with the papers. I also used a corner round punch, and just so that it wasn't the hard point. Or you could use, if you don't have a corner round, use a circle punch, and then it will just snip in. So you can do that. Right. So then next is that we want to fold these bits in to make the box base like this. So I am just going to put, and again, I had previously done this with snail. And then I just did it at the end, folded in, because you don't need it fully, adhesive on all of it. Again, with the snail, it just gives you that bit of wriggle room that you can kind of get it looking, getting it set properly. And then there, fold that. If you do use the glue, then just use the end of your bone folder and just wriggle it around on the inside so that it kind of sticks all those layers together. And then there is your little box. How cool and easy is that? And then to open it, so you go like that. And then you can fit in there. Like I said, I did just some bits of stationery, a little mini pen. You can do it with chocolates. And I'll just quickly grab, I've got this, bring this one over. Then you can either decorate it, however you want, or like I just left mine plain because I felt that the paper was did the talking. So here is the version that I made that uses half a sheet of cardstock. Same sort of thing, but it's just that little bit bigger. And then I just decorated it with some designer series paper just to make it. But then, instead of a Christmas cracker, have this on the Christmas table for any other little thing that you want to just give somebody a little something. Great way of using up your paper and really easy to put together. I have, because my sister wants to make some of these, so I have quickly drawn up a little diagram. So this is actually to scale of 6 by 6 with the instructions. So what I will do, I will pop this up on my YouTube channel after I have uploaded the video. It might be tomorrow. I'm just trying not to do too much of looking at computers and monitors. But actually, if I just leave it here now, if I take that out, and if you want to take a photo or a screenshot of that bit, if I leave that, take my fingers away, and then you can see that. I hope that's given you long enough to do that. And then there are the instructions. I'll just hold that down, and then you can do a screenshot of that. But I will, yes, will email that to you, Deborah. But yeah, I'll also scan it and put it up on my page. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Great way of using your designer series paper. I'll see if I'll try and find my instructions for doing the half sheet as well, so that you've got 2 different sizes. So you can see there is a bit of difference in the size. Oh, hi Sylvia, no worries. So it'll be on Facebook for the next 30 days. And then if you want, it's up forever on my YouTube channel. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll catch you again next week. Thanks for joining. Bye. It is a